Hi viewers, this is your Raju sir. Today I'm talking about your lesson Watson-Crick DNA double helix model. You know that last class I thought that the structure of the DNA and the scientific future of the DNA. So today that I will discuss about J.D. Watson and F.H.C. Crick DNA double helix model. So you know that here the DNA DNA is a chemical complex compound structure. So here the chemical complex compound structure first identified in 1931. 1931 Leven 1931 Leven first identified the strength of polynucleotides and deoxyribonucleotides. So 1931 Levens first identified the strength of polynucleotides and ribonucleotides. This the person is identified the strength of the polynucleotides and deoxyribonucleotides is contain 4 nitrogen base pairs. Nitrogen base. 4 nitrogen base. You know that 4 nitrogen base, adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine. So both are the nitrogen base pairs. So those are the nitrogen base pairs is formation to the strength of the polynucleotides and deoxyribonucleotides. So first of all we are learning about this strength of the polynucleotides and the deoxyribonucleotides is containing strength. Which type of the strength? So here the nitrogen base pairs is repeatedly constructed to form to the polynucleotide chain. So repeatedly constructed to the polynucleotides. That means we can identify here adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. So this is the 4 nucleotides is formed to the one chain, and here the chain is repeated: adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. So this one or this one, adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. So that means the strength of the polynucleotide chains is formed by the reconstructed arrangement of the nitrogen base pairs. Reconstructed arrangement of the nitrogen base pairs is observed to the Leven. So that's why he is first to find out the strength of the polynucleotide chain and the deoxyribonucleotide chain. So we must be observing to the Leven strength of polynucleotide chain and the deoxyribonucleotide chain. And the next one in 1940 Erwin Chargaff is also first point to the chemical analysis of chemical analysis of molecular DNA or DNA molecules arrangement. DNA molecule arrangement. So 1940, in the 1940, Erwin Chargaff first find out the chemical analysis of DNA molecule arrangement. So in this chemical analysis of the DNA molecule arrangement, having point number 1, purine and pyrimidine. Purines and pyrimidines. So here we are observing the purines, adenine, guanine. So those are the purines, cytosine and thymine. So here pyrimidines. So here the person is observing to the chemical analysis of the DNA molecular arrangement. In this each DNA polynucleotides is containing purines and pyrimidines. So both are equal. Both are equal. Must be identified here. Both are equal. So what you know the equal? For example, you know that purines A plus G equal to C plus T. A plus G. Adenine plus guanine is equal to the cytosine plus thymine. So that is first identified Erwin Chargaff. And as well as Erwin Chargaff is also given to the law of DNA molecular equivalence. Erwin Chargaff Erwin Chargaff rules of DNA molecular equivalence. So Erwin Chargaff rules of DNA molecular equivalence. Erwin Chargaff rules of DNA molecular equivalence. You know that Erwin Chargaff rules of DNA molecular equivalence. What do you know the Erwin Chargaff rules of DNA molecular equivalence? So the definition Erwin Chargaff rules of DNA molecular equivalence is defined as the ratio of nitrogen base pairs having the DNA molecule is always equal. Keep it in your mind once again. We can write to them. The ratio of nitrogen base pairs of the DNA molecule is always equal. This phenomenon is also known as Erwin Chargaff rules of DNA molecular equivalence. Keep it in your mind. So, nitrogen base pairs always equivalence. So that means, you know that. So this is a nitrogen base pair, adenine, thymine, guanine and cytosine. You know that we are observing here the purines and pyrimidines. Adenine and guanine is the purines. thiamine and cytosine is the pyrimidines. So these both are purines and these both are pyrimidines. So we are observing here adenine related to bind to the thiamine and guanine related to bind to the cytosine. Keep it in your mind. So here that means the purines is always related to the pyrimidines. The pyrimidines is always related to the purines. So that is equivalence. So here the ratio, we can observe into the ratio. A is equal to T. So adenine is equal to the thiamine. So adenine is double ring structure and thiamine is single ring structure. Adenine is equal to the thiamine. So that's why adenine is always related to bind to the thiamine. Thiamine is always related to bind to the adenine. And the next one, guanine equal to the cytosine. So guanine is a purine, cytosine is a pyrimidine. So purines is related to bind to the pyrimidine. So that's why guanine is always bind to the cytosine. So that means adenine thiamine, adenine equal to the thiamine, guanine equal to the cytosine. So this ratio is first identified by the Erwin Chargaff. So that's why this law is also called as Erwin rules of DNA molecular equivalence. So this ratio we can observe into the ratio A equal to T and G equal to C. So this is an equivalence ratio. So this one must be identified to the Erwin Chargaff law. So in this Erwin Chargaff law is always binded A plus G by T plus C. So those are the Erwin Chargaff law must be identified. So this law is first proposed by Erwin Chargaff, very very important. So and the last we are find out to the one point. Erwin Chargaff is due to the rules of DNA molecular equivalence only having the double standard DNA, ddNA, double standard DNA. But this law is could not applicable for the single standard DNA, sDNA. Only double standard DNA is applicable for the Erwin Chargaff law, but could not applicable for the single standard DNA. So must be identified. So that is Erwin Chargaff law. In 1950, let I will discuss you. In 1950, J.D. Watson, John Dewey Watson, and F.H.C. Crick, Francis Harry Carey Crick, 1950. Sorry. In 1950, MHF Wilkins, MHF Wilkins, and Franklin Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt and his co-workers is also first identified X-ray differentiation pattern of production of the DNA molecule. Keep it in your mind. Once again, I will write it here. X-ray differentiation pattern of production of DNA molecule. So those are first observed to the X-ray differentiation pattern in the production of the DNA molecule. By using X-ray, keep it in your mind. So those the person is first identified to the X-rays use कर रहा है. So X-ray used to the X-ray rays, and those were identified to the DNA molecule. So let I will diagrammatically explain to this experiment of MHF Wilkinson and Franklin Roosevelt and his co-workers. So let we shall show to them. Diagrammatically I will explain this one. So this one diagram, we are observing to the diagram. So first of all, X-ray sources. This one, X-ray source, and this one, lead screen, screen, and this one, DNA sample, and this one, photographic plate, and this one, X-ray differentiation of DNA molecules. So those are the diagrams. So first of all, we are passing to the X-ray beam. So this is a beam. So we are passing to the X-ray beam. So here across to the lead screen. So the X-ray beam is passed on to the DNA sample by the lead screen, and here the DNA sample is give to the photos from the photographic plate. So in this photos is depreciation in the X-rays of the source. So those were the scientists Wilkins, Franklin Roosevelt and his workers. Is first identified by the uses of X-ray depreciation pattern of the DNA molecule. So is the person is first given to the DNA having the every organism of body. Both are the organisms is having the DNA structure, spiral structure of DNA. Spiral structure of DNA. Wilkinson is after the experiment. Wilkinson is determined to the experiment. The DNA structure is spiral structure. So is the person is first identified to the only single strand DNA. Single strand DNA. After in 1953, J.D. Watson and F.C. Crick. J.D. Watson and F.H.C. Crick. Both are 1953. So both are determined to the double helix of the DNA structure by the basis of the Wilkinson experiment and as well as physically and chemically containing to the DNA nucleotides, polynucleotide chain. So that's why both are got Nobel Prize. In 1962, and after Wilkins is also got to the Nobel Prize. So that's why the structure of the DNA is determined or discovered by the J.B. Watson and F.C. Crick, is followed to the Wilkinson experiments. That's why Wilkinson is also got Nobel Prize. Only 3 persons has got to the Nobel Prize. Watson, Crick and Wilkinson. So let us discuss to the Watson Crick double helix model. Some important points are there. Those are the important points is determined to the Watson Crick model. So let I will discuss to the Watson Crick model. So first of all, we are observing to the DNA molecule. Here the DNA molecule is having 2 helix. DNA molecule is containing, point number 1, DNA molecule is containing 2 helix. So for example, first one, this one helix, this one helix. So this one helix is twisted by the another helix, twisted by the another helix. So this is one helix, this helical is twisted by the another helical. So that's why Watson Crick is described double helical structure of the DNA molecule. So here the double helical structure of the DNA molecule is twisted of the DNA molecule. We can observe into the DNA molecule. So here the DNA molecule is like a building step structures, like a building steps structures. So in this 2 helicals are there. So those are the 2 helicals. Those are the 2 helicals. Is one to another is twisted of the each helical. So both are the helicals is having, one helical is having one polynucleotide chain and another helical is having one polynucleotide chain. So this one having the one polynucleotide chain and this one having the another polynucleotide chain. You know that nucleosides and nucleotides. Nucleosides means sugar molecule plus nitrogen base pairs is called nucleosides. Sugar molecule, phosphate molecule and a nitrogen base pair is called nucleotides. So here the nucleotides, one nucleotide is having the DNA molecule, mononucleotide deoxyribonucleic acid. 2 nucleotides is having the DNA molecule, dinucleotide deoxyribonucleic acid, and 3 nucleotides is having the DNA molecule, trinucleotide deoxyribonucleic acid, and 4 or more than nucleotides is having the DNA molecule is also called as polynucleotide deoxyribonucleic acid chain. We are described. So first of all, we are learning to this nucleotides. So those are the nucleotides is arranging to the chain. Those are the nucleotides is arranged into the chain. So this chain is also called as complementary strand of the chain. Complementary strand. Complementary DNA strand. So in this complementary DNA strand is contain number of the nucleotides. So those are the nucleotides is connected by the phosphodiester bonds, phosphodiester bond, and hydrogen bonds. Hydrogen bonds. So phosphodiester bonds and hydrogen bonds. So that's why here the DNA is chemical complex compound structure. For example, You know that the nucleotides. So those are the nucleotides is contained into that. आप लोगों को डायग्राम देखिए. Those are the nucleotides is contained into the pentose sugar. Pentose sugar is binding to the phosphate molecule. Nitrogen base pair, adenine, phosphate molecule, and the next phosphate molecule, nitrogen base pair, and the next phosphate molecule, and the next nitrogen base pair. So this one we are observing here. So this one now, pentose sugar. So this is the phosphate molecules, and this one now nitrogen base pair. So here the pentose sugar is related to bind to the phosphate molecule to formation of the phosphoester bond. So here is also binded to the phosphate molecule to form to the phosphoester bond. So one pentose sugar is binding to the two phosphoester bonds. So that's why we can call to the phosphodiester bonds is connected or binded to the pentose sugar to related to binded to the pentose sugar. So that's why pentose sugar plus phosphodiester bond of the phosphate molecule is backbone of the DNA molecule. Backbone of the DNA molecule. Keep it in your mind. And nitrogens is binding to the N-glycide bonds. N-glycoids bonds. So this is a nitrogen base pairs is binding to the related to bind to the pentose sugar. So that's why here the nitrogen base pairs is projection for inside of the DNA molecule. Projection for inside of the DNA molecule. So this is inside having the nitrogen base pair. So this both are outside having the nitrogen base pair. So that's why this is a backbone of the DNA molecule. So this one no projection of the DNA molecule. So this one we are observing to the DNA molecule. So this is a single strand DNA molecule. So here the single strand DNA molecule is having the two ends. So first one end, this is a 5' end, and the second one end, this is a 3' end. So here the 5' end is having the ending position is containing to the phosphate molecule, and 3' end is having the OH molecule. So that why OH is minus, that's why it is a negative. The negative of the OH is always binding to the other nucleotides. So that's why here the DNA molecule polynucleotides is always binding to the another nucleotides to form to the long length chain. So this is a single strand DNA. So in this single strand DNA is having the two ends, 5' to 3'. And another one DNA are there, another one strand, another one stand, another one single stand. For example, another one single stand here or there. So this is the first one. This is a pentose sugar. This one containing to the phosphate molecule. This one having the phosphate molecule. So here the pentose sugar is containing to the nitrogen base pair, and as well as same to same pentose sugar, nitrogen base pair, and as well as pentose sugar, nitrogen base pair. Pentose sugar, nitrogen base pair. So देखो here, so this one pentose sugar, pentose sugar, pentose sugar, and pentose sugar. So both are the nitrogen base pair. Projection of inside having the nitrogen base pair and outside having phosphate molecules. So this is another one DNA. So both are the this one strand and this one strand. So this one strand is starting have 5' to 3', 5' to 3' of the DNA. So in this 5' to 3' of the DNA is always twisted to the another strand. To twist it to the another strand to connected by the nitrogen base pairs. So both are the nitrogen base pairs. As a rule of the charge F, the nitrogen base pairs is always purines and pyrimidines are equal to binding. So let me will show this image. This is a thymine and this is a adenine. So thymine and adenine related to bind 2 hydrogen bonds, and this is a cytosine and this is a guanine related to bond 3 hydrogen bonds, and this is a guanine and this is a cytosine related to bond 3 hydrogen bonds, and this is a adenine and this is a thymine related to bond 2 hydrogen bonds. So that's why we are observing this image. So this is a double helix of the DNA. So here the double helix of the DNA, we can observe into the double helix of the DNA. Here the DNA is having the twisted formation of the DNA. So that is we are observing. So in this DNA arrangement, we are observing to the DNA arrangement like about 5' to 3' and 3' to 5'. So that means these arrangements are anti-parallel arrangement. These arrangements are which type of the arrangement? Anti-parallel arrangement. Opposite direction of the arrangement containing to the DNA molecule. So that is first identified to the J.D. Watson and FCH Crick, FHC Crick. So must be identified here. So we are right to this image. Easy understanding. So that means one DNA molecule containing to the one double helix of the DNA molecule is containing to the one pair of the nitrogen base pairs. In this one pair of the nitrogen base pairs is related to bonding to the 2 hydrogen bonds and 3 hydrogen bonds. 2 hydrogen bonds is binding to the adenine, thymine, and 3 hydrogen bonds is binding to the guanine and the cytosine. So here the guanine and cytosine is having full strength of the DNA. Why? Because 3 hydrogen bonds is together to binding, and this one adenine and Thymine is weak binding of the DNA molecule. Keep it in your mind. And here the bond formation of the DNA molecule. The bond formation of the DNA molecule is binding between, the gap is 0.34 angstroms. Keep it in your mind. So this one, adenine and thymine. So both are binding having the gap. So here the gap is having 0.3 angstrom units. And one pair of the nitrogen base pair and another pair of the nitrogen base pairs having the equivalent distance. So this one to this one having equivalent distance 3.4 angstrom units of the distance. So this one same to same 3.4 angstrom units. So keep it in your mind. A pair of DNA molecule related to bind to the DNA having the gap 0.34 angstroms, and between the two pairs of the DNA molecules having the equivalent distance 3.4 angstrom units. So once we are observing to the structure of the DNA, so we are easily observing. So for example, we will show to the structure of the DNA molecule. So this is a one helical structure of DNA molecule. So this one helical structure of the DNA molecule is containing 3' to 5', and here the one helical structure of the DNA molecule is anti-parallel binding to the another DNA molecule. So that is we are observing. So this one anti-parallel arrangement of the DNA molecule. This is anti-parallel arrangement of the DNA molecule. So this one having 5' to 3' of the DNA molecule. So in this twisted DNA, each twisted DNA is containing 10 nitrogen base pairs. So this one twisted DNA and this one nitrogen base pair. 10 nitrogen base pairs containing to the each twisted of the nitrogen base pair. So 10 nitrogen base pair. So in this between the gap, this one nitrogen base pair and this one nitrogen base pair. This one nitrogen base pair, this one nitrogen base pair. Both nitrogen base pair between the gap distance is 0.34 angstroms. And the next, one pair of the nitrogen base pair, another pair of the nitrogen base pairs having the distance 3.4 angstrom units, and one twisted to another twisted having the length is 34 angstrom units. One twisted to another twisted is having the length is 34 angstrom units. And in this twisted area is having 10 angstrom units. And as well as the width of the DNA molecule having 20 angstrom units. 20 angstrom units. So those are, there must be identified to the DNA molecule. Here the DNA is arranging to the anti-parallel 3' to 5' and 5' to 3'. So this is the anti-parallel arrangement of the DNA molecule is first identified to the J.B. Watson and F.C.H. Crick. Keep it your mind. And as well as here the DNA molecule is arranging to the right angular twisted of the DNA molecule. So this is a right angular twisted of the DNA molecule. And sometimes so left angular twisted of the DNA molecule is also arranging. We are observing every organism body. Every organism is containing to the double helix of the DNA molecule. Watson Crick is first identified to the double helix of the DNA molecule by the uses of the Wilkinson experiment. So keep it your mind, and we can write to these notes and get to the more marks. So thank you.